You were shy and you did not consider yourself particularly social adept. Is that what led to, let me say, suspicions and at least half diagnosis that you had Asperger's syndrome when you were younger?
It was, yes, I had been taken out of school for about a year. Always since I was a baby, I always rocked. I always, would get hypnotized by fires. And I wouldn't say I was introverted. I was more out there somewhere. I was off in the dream world all the time and was not very communicative. And in the 60s, they did like Rorschach tests and things. It wasn't very...
Literally,
Yeah. It was like, here's an ink blot, what does that mean? And my answers were all wrong, apparently. And so they recommended to my mom to put me on some medications and institutionalize me. And I'm so thankful that she didn't, because I'd probably still be there today if she had.
Correct me if I'm wrong. As I understand it, it's related to autism, but it's not as serious as autism itself. Is that a fair description?
Well, I think it's a different form, and there are different levels as well. There's more high-functioning autism, there's high-functioning Asperger's, so I think there's different levels.
My question is, what did you learn from your experience that might help other families who are struggling with this issue in one way or the other right now?
Well, I worry about giving advice to others about it, because I only know my experience, and my mother made the right choice for me, and she basically...
Which might or might not be the right choice for someone else.
Exactly. I mean, she took me out of school. She kind of just let me, sort of exist in my imaginary world for a good year or so, and sort of slowly reintegrated me back into the normal world, whatever that means. But it's always been an awkward fit, but I definitely, as I grow older, I've definitely learned how to deal with it better. I still struggle. I still am not comfortable. I'm not an extrovert. I'm not, I'm not a natural exhibitionist or anything.
For example, is it difficult to come to an interview such as this now?
It's always difficult. I couldn't sleep last night. It's always difficult, and not because you're a legend, and I just adore you. Yeah. And my mom said to say hi, but I also I just feel like I was like, what? I don't have anything to say. What am I going to say?
Well, where we're going with that was, you got into film early.
Yeah.
You had some early success. Was there a time when this, even talk of possible Asperger's, was hurting your career?
I don't know.
When it came from
it's a miracle that I even had a career, let me just say. I never, kissed the right butt. I didn't do a lot of press. I hardly did any press for the first 20 years of my career, I remember there was a time when I was doing Still Magnolias, and Oprah wanted to do a show with all the women, and I think she probably hates me to this day, because I had to put the kibosh on it, because I couldn't go in front of an audience.
You may be the only
faint.
person on the planet who's ever turned down Oprah for a chance to be
Well, I literally thought I would faint. It was like, and I have fainted, quite a few times before. It makes me nervous, I'm better one-on-one. But at a premiere where there's lots of people and screaming your name, it's too much stimulation, and when there's an audience, it just terrifies me.
Ageism in the movie business is no secret.
Yeah, not at all.
It is in many ways a young person's game, a young person's craft, isn't it?
For women. Not for men. You see Harrison Ford and all these guys, they're still out there and starring in movies and stuff. But for women, for sure. I started hearing that I was too old for roles when I was 35. 35 years old. You're too old to play a doctor. You're too old to play a lawyer. That's scary, That doesn't reflect the real world at all. You can't even graduate school and start working in those professions, so it doesn't make mathematical sense. But if you think about it, all aspects, all career, all jobs in the film industry, directors, producers, studio executives, actresses, behind the scenes, all the below the line, there's something like less than 30% women in the film industry right now. In the 40s, it was really quite well balanced, and especially the stars, the female stars, were at least just as powerful as the male stars, and they were allowed to be mature, strong, independent, free-thinking women. They weren't just arm candy. But I can only assume that it's because the people who are in charge of running the decisions, the choices, and are just casting things that they relate to. A lot of times those guys are boys or guys, and they want to, they're just they're assuming that the audience wants to see the things that they would want to see, and they don't realize and recognize that sometimes these movies come out with all women, like, what was it, last year they had Bridesmaids or something, and it was very successful, and everyone's like, ooh, a movie with all women is successful? What a shock. Well, every once in a while those things happen, and the female audience is going, yeah, we like to see movies about characters that remind us of ourselves.
You had a relationship with John F. Kennedy Jr. Fairly recently you were protesting with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. What, if anything, did they teach you that you didn't already know?
Well, one thing that I hadn't experienced before was getting to witness the family tradition in the Kennedy family of really instilling the responsibility to be of service, to choose something at an early age that they're interested in and engaged in, that they champion as just part of life, that everybody in the family is expected to take on some form of social service. And I think that that's something that our culture has sort of forgotten, that's a big element of us feeling complete and whole.
Public service.
Yeah, being of service. Being a part of a community and feeling like you're giving back actually brings you so much more joy and happiness than what you put out. It keeps a person healthy, it keeps a person happy, and it keeps a person whole and connected to the world. I really respect that that's something that they instill in every member of their family. It was quite a beautiful thing to see.
What do you wish you had known that you didn't know?
I wish that I had not been so timid or afraid. I wish I had known not to worry about what other people think at all, because people don't think about you for very long. People, think about themselves. I remember this is one of the things that's really stuck with me that Jacqueline Onassis said to me one time when they were writing some horrible lies about me and John, and she's just like, it's going to be at the bottom of the birdcage tomorrow, all these newspapers, don't worry about it. And I was like, phew, it just took such pressure off of me.